All right, welcome everybody. Welcome everyone back dito sa, sorry, jet lag pa rin. Deep dive at ito yung FYI series natin pero post-election series at kasama natin of course yung ating isa sa mga favorite deans natin. Such good English, such good English. Si Dean Gary Dionithio. Salamat Dean for joining us.
Thank you, Richard, for inviting me again to this growing community of your fan base. You know, the
Thank
Deep
you
Dive
so
FYI series episode.
Thank you so much din for imparting your time. Obviously, marami sa atin sa political science world, public administration world, and even of course in the civil society world, our colleagues from different schools. We have been having productive discussion over the past few days in the context of a couple of things. Of course, parating na yung SONA. So I want to discuss with you, Dean, what do you expect from the State of the Nation address from the president as he sets the tone for his legacy years? Basically, what do you want to see, what you're hoping to see, what we should expect to see, and also what are the key achievements and indicators you have to look at. As far as the SWS survey is concerned, it looks like medyo upward trajectory na ulit si President BBM and also the Speaker of the House. No? So it looks like whatever backlash was happening in light of the ICC arrest of the former president, mukhang medyo nagre-reverse ng trend. But before going there, obviously din, I want to talk about itong medyo mainit-init, no? And admittedly, medyo kasama rin ako sa tornado na yan. Itong discussion about whether it makes sense ethically, pragmatically, long-term, short-term, tactical, strategic for Bam and Kiko to join the majority. Let me just say, even when I was in Europe, I was in the Baltic and then Danzig and all, people were messaging me from within campaigns. You know, people are close not only to Risa, but also to the other senators. And they were saying they were not happy, they had concerns. So I'm not saying these things out of nowhere. I hear people, I hear discontent, but at the same time, you also, I think, have some solid argument that, it's one thing to disagree, it's another thing to try to cancel out each other. And I think that doesn't make sense. And that's the kind of point that our good friend Dino De Leon has been making. And watch out for our TV episode soon next Monday. But Dean Gary, I want to ask you, ito na, medyo pamak na tayo.
Yeah,
You have
shoot.
no less than Lenny Robredo kanina coming out and basically not only endorsing this almost certain Kiko and Bam joining the majority with Cheese and the DDS7, but even pushing back against the critics and saying basically they're just being emotional. Well, she didn't use the term OA, but some would say parang ganun ang nangyari. So without without putting ourselves into too much trouble, then I know you are a very respectable academic, unlike Ronald Llamas and me and the rest of the gang. But to the degree that Dean, you can say something about the nature of this debate and your concerns. Anong say niyo dyan?
Yeah, thank you, Richard. No? In fact, somehow I was troubled when I heard this news, both from the perspective organizationally and, of course, as an academician, and perhaps also as an observer. I remember I was in Cebu last year, and it just so happened that the venue where the Checky Bomb at that time, the Chel, Kiko, and Bam, Troika was launched, happened where also I stayed. And I just had the business meetings in one of the LGUs that I was invited to do some speaking engagement and some mentoring to the mayor. So I saw them, and of course, my initial reaction is that okay, so since I was there and some of them are my friends, so I decided to sit in the activity where the meeting happened, and they try to plan, no? So what will be their strategies? No, say they talk about, for example, is chicky bomb is really something catchy and will cuts across to the target voters. And of course, I think it's a meeting with all the Visayas leaders from all multidimensional and multi-party supporters of that initiative at that time. And of course, I specifically heard speeches of Kiko, Bam, and Chel. And I think the message clear is that they were there together, working to have a credible opposite, no, coalition clearly that, we are here to accompany Senator Risa Ontiveros because right now, come 2025, she will only be left, no, as the remaining opposition. So I heard him very clearly, no. So they were together in that event, no, to support the advocacy of Senator Risa to have a strong minority or opposition slash opposition at that time. So, personally listening to these speeches and now listening to this development, no, I was somehow, for lack of a better term, no, flabbergasted and also, you know, uh, uh, siguro ano ka rin, na-frustrate ka rin. So, siguro, you're also frustrated about what happened. Kasi, at least, you don't expect, I personally, I don't expect that this will happen because of that time when the campaign started and even before the campaign started, that was already somehow the plan. But I know that the details because I was only a guest of that meeting. Just for the record, I was only guest. No? I was, talking to friends and observing. So I'm not really part of that meeting per se, but because I'm a friend of some people there, so andun ako. I observed. So I remember as well, Richard, no, siguro aside from this information, during the height of the Alice Go campaign, no? Puro mga coincidence eh. Nakita ko si Senator Risa sa isang dinner. O dahil dinner buffet naman yun, na-invite naman ako na kumain. And at that time, there was a Senate shake-up brewing. Okay? So I heard to one of her closest staff, no? I think one senator talked to Senator Risa about, joining for a new majority and promising her for a very plush committee, an important committee. Okay? But Senator Risa said, no, I'm a minority, so sorry, I
This
cannot
is
do
nung
that.
pinali si Migzubiri. Then, just to be clear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah, that time. So, no, very, no, very prestigious yung committee na in-offer sa kanya. And in fact, I talked to some of the staff then at that time, no? Parang kunin na natin kasi, this might lead us to passage of at least yung divorce bill, yung mga advocacy, no? Kasi mukhang kaya namang ilusot at that time, no? And among others. But Senator Risa is really steadfast on her position. No? Nasa minority tayo, okay na yan. So, and of course, uh, what happens next? Yon, we have the new set leadership under Jesus Cordero. So this set of events, Richard, I definitely somehow are building blocks for me how I understand the development. So medyo sa akin, I'm expecting the unexpected with this move. So this is coming from a personal experience and first-hand knowledge about the coalitions before. I don't know, it's not called coalition, but rather, a sort of a sort of, an aggregation of interest, if I may say that. Okay? So yun yung mga nangyari yun yung mga nangyari. So nakakalungkot kasi nga, yun, biglang all of a sudden, I don't know kung nag-usap sila, sabi naman nila nag-uusap sila of the decisions to get these uh, committees, di ba? Agriculture and education, no? Ako, if I were Senator Kiko, baka nga kunin ko na lang sana, baka hindi agriculture, blue ribbon eh. Di ba? Para may say. Sabihin ko mag-negotiate ka rin for a majority, at least you get for a blue ribbon committee because you're a lawyer, right? So that's also an opportunity. But nevertheless, I don't know what happened to them.
Lawyer din naman si Marcoleta eh. So,
Yeah, yeah, I told them. But kasi nga, you negotiated Yeah. So, I mean, that's, at least if you will negotiate, always negotiate for a higher position or higher opportunities. Di ba? So, I think this is something that we should ponder about. So, syempre, progressive, especially students who really rallied and campaigned that, we will have a strong opposition. We will make sure that uh, the agenda of the ordinary people will now be heard with the stronger presence of Bam and Kiko in the Senate. So, yan yung mga naging expectation. So, kaya for example, nakikita ko yung mga post ng mga ilang mga former students, my friends who supported Kiko and Bam for their Senate run, no? Makikita mo rin yung dismay, no? Kasi they didn't expect this, no, that this will happen as well. So, yan yung reality and at this
Right.
point, yeah.
No, no, Dian, thank you so much again for sharing your own parang personal window into what looked like a solid coalition, kind of third force coming out of this election. Uh, I mean, to rewind this even further, right? Remember, Risa was supposed to have been passed down the baton, right, to be the leader of
Yeah,
the opposition.
by BP Lenny at that time. Yeah, yeah.
Right. So my understanding is that it's not like Risa is just like out there. Riza is supposed to be the leader of the opposition, right? So the idea that you expect others running under liberal progressive banner, not necessarily a single party, we don't have real parties yet, unfortunately, at the mainstream level, parang I don't think that's unreasonable. That's basically what's expected, right? So kung ikaw ay hindi DDS, ikaw ay hindi alyansa ng administration, you're running as a progressive liberal candidate, even if sasabihin mo independent ka or hindi ka liberal party or even liberal party ka, parang expected na if Riza is anointed and sanctified basically by Lenny, if I can even go that far, as a leader of opposition, yun na yun, di ba? So what I wonder
Absolutely. Yeah. Couldn't
is
agree more. Couldn't agree
yeah.
more with what you're saying.
And last time I checked, Shell Jokno has not joined the majority in the Congress, even though Akbayan was number one of all party list groups, even though he has been invited to join the prosecution team, which is one of the essential elements of what the leadership of the Congress is invested in, as far as one of their key agendas is concerned. I'm talking about legislative agenda, not political
Yeah.
agenda. But it chose to be minority. Leila de Lima, the same thing. So I think it wouldn't be too unreasonable to expect that eto nga, you don't want Riza to be alone there. And it's not, parang ang pinapalabas pa nung iba is, masyado kayong personalistic, which is exactly the opposite of our concern, right? It's not about Riza per se. It's about Riza being the leader of opposition and not being alone as a leader of opposition when you have at least two other people to join her in a chamber of 24 people. So the idea of them sticking it together the same way na the DDS, right? I mean, imagine if Bongo, Bato, and Robin Hood and all enter
Yeah.
and then they go in different ways. Kakatayin
That's
sila
why
ng DDS base
yeah,
nila.
and that's why this is and then this is Senator Kiko and Ma'am. We expect a lot of things from them, right? We treated them not really, as traditional politicians per se, and for a lot of nomenclature, di ba? So, ano sila may ganun kang expectation talaga eh. Especially you run on that, no, on that principle that you were together with Senator Risa, no? As you mentioned earlier nga, who was treated or yung past the baton na treated the opposition. So, ano kayo nung during that time when you're campaigning? What was your It is not simply their agenda. You represent a political expression. Diba? No? You join Central Risa, hindi naman kayo sumama sa Duterte or hindi kayo sumama naman sa alyansa ng Bagong Pilipinas. You were together with the group of Central Risa and et al. Okay? So, maliwalag, isipin ng mga tao na, teka, ba't diyan kayo napunta? So,
And
ilan
of
naman
course,
ang mga tanong ko. Yeah.
yeah, and of course, din just to add this, no? Yeah, I mean, speaking of Lenny, right? Yung idea na, we have to be pragmatic, we have to work with what we got, we have to. Well, that's exactly why hindi na tayo nag-expect masyado ng elections, right? Because a lot of people would have said, bakit hindi sila nag-iingay sa West Philippine Sea issue? At yung pagtatridor ng ibang grupo dyan or yung perceived treasonous rhetoric, if not policies, ng isang kampo. We all know who was weak on the West Philippine Sea issue and continues to be weak on standing up to Chinese bullying of the Filipinos in the West Philippine Sea. Sa issue ng ICC, ano ulit ang sinabi nila Kiko and especially si Bam, right? On the issue of impeachment. Again, exactly what did Bam say? Pero sabi natin, okay, elections, you want to play safe, etc. I think some people played it so safe and so well. Next thing you know, they got endorsement pa from a certain group na alam natin very much close to the Sara camp and had a million strong rally earlier this year to basically block any impeachment trial of Sara. And then we said, sige na nga, okay na nga, election na, intindihan natin. And then tapos ng elections, remember of course din, di ba yung issue ng, ano, magka-convene pa tayo or hindi? Kiko, in fairness, came out with a statement.
Mm-mm.
Well, the other one came out with a statement a little bit later on, but so parang okay, all right, parang gumaganon tayo. Okay, all right. So for me, medyo either may problema tayo sa historical memory, actually hindi nga historical memory, parang contemporary events, or medyo nag-whitewash na tayo when you say OA naman kayo, isang move lang, one move lang, nagre-react kayo. Well, actually, with all due respect, hindi ito one move eh. We can look at many moves that were not done or were done that were already working
Clearly, it's a
eyebrow.
domino effect, Richard. I mean, that joining from uh, identified from minority and then jumping to majority without, I don't know if did they clear it to someone else? Meron bang pinag-usapan itong mga taong to that, o magma-majority, meron bang ganong pag-uusap or just simply na, dahil pag majority kami, panalo na kami. No talk, no discussions anymore. So, at least yung ibang mga alam ko for example no sa local politics alam mo sila yung nag-uusap sila kung naglolokohan sila alam mo naglolokohan sila. I mean at even at the national level alam mo nagtatrapuhan sila for lack of better term, di ba?
Transparently trapo.
But this we expect from these are different people. I believe so that these are grounded in their principle, hanging with their idealism, something like that. So, yan yung mga katotohanan niya, no? So, of course, syempre, uh, surprisingly, syempre, I don't know how former Mayor Lenny defended this move, no? At ano,
Or din may read what Lenny said. I mean, at least based on this. So,
yeah.
marami pa rin kasi tayong mga kasama na mas puso yung pinapairal, mas emosyon. Ako, kung gusto natin manalo, di pwede yun eh. Kung gusto natin manalo, kailangan mas malayo yung pagtingin
Yeah,
natin at mas
the long view.
malawak. Ngayon, parang one false move or one move na isang kandidato na hindi sang-ayon sa kanila, aawayin nila. Mahirapan tayo na wala tayong espasyo para doon sa mga hindi eksakto sa paniniwala natin. So I'm just trying to be fair. This is it. First of all, emotion. I found that very interesting. Wasn't the whole pink movement about puso, emotions, like
Precisely. I mean, this
aspiration? Since when emotion is an evil thing? I
precise and if
found
you
that weird.
remember, well, I'm not part. I'm not part of the Pink Movement.
Right.
I didn't go to any of the rally of VP Lenny at that time. I'm just an observer, no. Pero I talked to the people who volunteered, who joined, no, nagpagod, nagpuyat, nag-deliver, no. If you will ask them, are you joining that because intellectually? Hindi. Primarily because of what? Emotions ang number one attach. So, hindi masama yun eh. In fact, no? Kaya nga, ang sense lang natin dito is that how this emotion will guide us. Yung ating North Star dyan sa emotion na yan, di ba? So, paano ba natin yan na uh, inaayos, for example, no? Uh, yun yung problema dito sa statement na ito. I don't know if kasi my wife is from Naga, no? And then we have friends for example in Camarines Sur, no? Medyo surprise din ako doon kasi someone who ran against the dynasty of Villapuerte, former close associate of Pipi Lenny, but she did not endorse. And she just, sabi niya lang, by default, ay hindi man boboto ang Naga sa governorship. Eh. So, hindi naman kailangan mag-endorse. But, people are expecting from you, emotionally, people are expecting that, as a leader with high standards, no? Anti-trapo in a sense, call for that, anti-dynasty, etc., no? Promoting good governance and transparency. Why you are not endorsing, no, a person in running for governor in Camarines Sur, no, who is pitted against a family of, dynasty. So how would you explain that? No? So hindi ba emotions din 'yon na sabi ang reason kasi nga no, hindi naman kami kasali diyan, so no need for me to support.
Well, I mean, that's my point. Like, minsan parang ano ba, bawal mag-express ng disappointment. I remember when some of us reacted when Lenny had what, 40, 45 minutes meeting with Sara Duterte at the height of all of the expose of the
Ayun. Ah,
mangos and all of that. And guess what happened? Kaming in-attack. Tapos accusation pa out, mga toxic masculinity kayo, kayo ni Trillanes, mga ganyan, ganyan. Wow! Kami bang masama for asking transparency and actually some sort of explanation on that? And then when people said, bakit tinawag na Senator Mark Oleta, eh hindi pa naman nanalo?
ayan.
Right?
Yeah.
If it were just one move, I mean, I would be more than happy. But it's not one move. Some people are saying baka may pattern. I won't go that far. Senator Trillanes can argue his own point. He has his own perspective on this. Ako, I'm always willing to give benefit of the doubt. I always give credit where credit's due. Sabi ko nga, kaya nga galit na galit si Malu sa akin. Kasi sabi ko, first 24 hours lang ni Lenny, ang daming na-achieve niya. Diba? Tuloy na-hurt yung mga ibang mga empresarios dyan. But anyway, you don't have to react, Din. You didn't hear that. But you get what I'm saying? Like, no, I give credit where credit is due. But sometimes parang I'm wondering what's going on here. Yung isang ano mo, in-endorse ng ganitong grupo, ikaw, mabait ka sa ganitong ganon,
Tapos
ikaw.
yung isang progressive candidate, hindi mo in-endorse, di ba? Parang,
And then, like, yeah, and guess what? I was also in Bicol earlier this year, and I heard also things from other parts of Bicol. Diba? I mean, I don't know. I mean, for me, if you want to quietly just play it and then focus on what you do, do it. But if you're gonna come out and guns blazing or come out and say na oh masyado kayong OA, masyado kayong emotional at basically implying na hindi kayo nag-iisip in terms of the big picture, parang I'm not sure I'm gonna take that lightly because it's not like we're hello like the notion of tactical alliance. I've been basically talking about this forever, right?
yeah, yeah,
All for
yeah. In
tactical
fact, I
alliance.
think you're one of the most vocal, proponents of this.
Yeah.
Pero what I heard from you and also from my standpoint, even tactical alliance, it should be very clear, principled. What are the key principles that we are holding for this alliance? Dapat ma-define yun eh. For example, uh, yung simply the committee chairmanship lang ba ang quid pro quo for supporting the majority? What else? For example, kasi alam naman natin in the Senate, if you are the majority, you have to toe the line at some point. Am I correct? Like, for example, if
Exactly.
you're,
If there won't be a quid pro quo, I'll give you your preferred committee, but you can vote against me whatever you want. Parang, I'm
it's
not
not
sure
true.
I can buy
Of course,
that. I
that's
mean,
not
I'm
true. Alam naman
sorry.
natin yun. Ano? Hindi man tayo pinanganak sa mga nakaraan. Alam naman
Last week
natin.
siguro lang.
Yeah. So, for example, the budget. Kung again, yung budget hindi naman maganda. So, will Senator Kiko and Bumble support that if they're part of the majority? I think they are compelled because that's one of their duties as well, right? Kasi kung hindi ka ba sa majority line, hindi ka talaga majority. So, I don't know how to operationalize the so-called minority in the majority or majority in the minority, no? Dichotomy. I I I still have problems
Hindi
on
kasi tayo
how to
magaling
set
din
that.
eh.
Yeah.
Kasi sila kasi masyadong advanced yung kanilang strategic thinking. Sino ba naman tayo din? We're just mga ano,
Pero don't get me wrong there, Richard. I mean, if you observe also the Senate, may mga botohan naman talaga dyan na hindi lang purely minority and majority. Because there are some legislations that really, if you will not vote against, that can be considered as your political suicide. Di ba? Paano kung very popular yung mga legislation na yan? So, yan yung mga porous ang division. Okay? So, expect naman natin yan. Pero, crucial concern, for example, impeachment. Yan. Yung mga resolution, for example, for former President Duterte for house arrest, something like, or yung budget, to be more specific. So, these are the things that I would like to observe in the coming days. Pero, usapang pinagsamaan nyo, may problema na yun.
Yun na, like, first of all, walang quid pro quo. Pangalawa, like, do you really need to be really the chairman to be able to, do you really have to be majority to be the chairman? I'm sorry, maraming butas yung argument na yan. And is it worth it to basically, kasi parang, basically, we're being asked to, parang, trust me, bro, I got this. Parang, that's not how mature, citizenship and civic duty works, right? Dapat sinisingil kung sinong politiko, wala akong pake kung anong kulay mo. We have to make sure walang katrapuhan na mangyari and we have to make sure that there's some transparency. Now, how I wish si Kiko
Saka
at Bam,
nagsalita kayo sa during the campaign, magkakasama kayo, nagsasabi kayo na will support each other, yung mga ganyang statement.
or siguro nag-press con
Ang
sana
bigat
sila
nun
and they
ha.
explain their side. Or at least nag-effort sila. Nag-press con sila, they explain their side. Kasi immediately what you hear is there's rumor already that there's a movement. Next thing you know, Kiko parang naiinis sa critics. Next thing you know, si Lenny pumapasok. Itong sinasabi parang, I don't think that's a very healthy way of approaching this. I mean, at the end of the day, we can just agree to disagree on this and move forward, right? Hopefully. But last time I checked, nasaktan talaga si Risa. I know for a fact she's really hurt. She tried to put up a brave face and say everything is fine, but I think we all know what's the real score here. But sana naman nag-effort. Umupo sila, nagka-press conference. In a real
Yeah,
democracy and a mature democracy, there's a party,
yeah,
consultation. Ito
yeah.
parang wala eh. Tanggapin nyo na lang. Oh, magingay kayo, kasalanan nyo pa, di ba? I mean,
Siyempre, we have to understand, may mga followers naman si Senator Risa na, no? Aside from Akbayan, may mga staff yan na, alam mo, kung tutusin yung mga staff ni Senator Risa, hindi mo na kailangan mag-campaign with Kiko and Bam last election. Kaya, I mean, because Risa is not running. But because there was a order from their principal, let's help these people. Kaya nakita ko sila, nasaktan talaga yan dahil nagpuyat, nagpagod, nag-extend ng kung ano-ano. Then all of a sudden, teka, ano ba sasamahan mo yung boss namin? Parang all of a sudden. Okay? So, I mean, let's tanggalin natin na si Risa yung opposite. Whoever that is that person, or either you, for example, be that Senate, you're the senator, and then at that time, nagkakausap tayong dalawa o tatlo tayo, kung sino man, yung Professor Ranjit. Then all of a sudden, sabihin ko, Chard, magkakasama tayo, and then we manage to get this big surprise of our lives. Sabihin namin sila, Chard, okay na kami, iwan ka na namin. Parang di ata maganda yon. So, I
pare,
mean,
thanks. Thanks, pare. Thanks,
parang gano'n lang
buddy.
yun eh. Parang, okay, okay. So, yeah, parang gumawa tayo ng research, tapos all of a sudden, sinolo na lang namin ni Ranjit ang research. So,
Wala
yeah,
ka na sa
parang gano'n.
credit, biglang wala ka na sa budget, biglang, ay, sorry na lang, maybe next time. Pero friends naman tayo. I will
Yun
still
nga, yun nga.
endorse you in the future projects, maybe better. Ay, tsaka yung idea
Sabihin
na,
ko, tactical lang yun eh. Kasi, so don't worry, this is a tactical move. So, ako sa akin na rin yan eh. Yung tactical and strategic, I think they should also be cleared. So, what is tactical? Dahil, my understanding is that in political movements, di ba? War of the movements and war of the maneuvers, na sabi nga ni Gramsci, importante na makita din natin yon, no? Na if you're doing a tactical move, it means that it can be served as a building block. So, hindi mo iiwan lang yung compromise ka bigla. Hindi tactical move, kompromiso yun eh. Tactical moves should serve for a building for a better goal. Kung yung tactical move mo will bury you into the mud, in the mud, so hindi tactical move yun. So, mawawala yung long view mo doon. Di ba? So, magiging short-sighted ka and eventually pragmatic. Right? So, yan yung mga dapat din makita natin dito. Kaya nga, okay, andyan na yan. Of course, we have to move forward. Pero at the end of the day, we will see, babantayan, ano yung mga magiging desisyon. Itong senador na sinuportahan ng mga mamayan, especially the progressives, that somehow they are, making some audacious move. Di ba? No? And not simply carrying their committees. So hindi not because of committee as well, but in other issues, like impeachment, etc.
yeah, I mean, before we transition to the SONA and all, and BBM naman on his side, ako naman, okay, kanina you had Rafi Tulfo coming out and making it very clear na gusto niya magkaroon ng trial. Kung inosente siya, let Sarah prove it. Pero yung idea na hindi magkaroon ng trial at all at you sabotage it, big no. That's great. That's great because last time I checked, I think the two Tulfo brothers are open to join the majority too, and both of them want a trial to happen. So you can also see a situation whereby Baka naman Bam and Kiko, so ito yung minority majority, 'di ba? Parang from the inside. Baka naman the two Tulfo brothers and Bam and Kiko can work together to make sure Cheese doesn't basically get pressured into sabotaging it by the DDS bloc within the majority. I don't again, like see, I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible. I'm trying to find a way through this, 'di ba? Sige, maybe that's the way forward. But last point on this issue before we go to the second part of our discussion din. Can we go back again dun sa war of position and long term? Kasi ito yung ni-raise ni Professor Abao from Ateneo, one of the I think one of the key figures in the founding of the Akbayan movement, a progressive person. Ang point niya kasi dito is hindi ito yung issue ng anong kagandahan ng puso or track record ng ganitong kandidato or hindi. Ito yung issue ng anong maging implication nito dun sa kilusan, sa party building. Because if everyone is gonna play it pragmatic, sabi nga ni Bongo, di ba? Hindi na. Okay. So then going back to what we were discussing a while ago, I said we're hoping that at least as a minority majority, I don't know, maybe Bam, Kiko, the Tulfo brothers could put pressure on Cheese or make sure Cheese is insulated from being basically coaxed and cajoled by the DDS camp. Having said that, um, let's talk about the party building, yung kilusan aspeto, because yun yung aspeto na we fear will be lost in this whole let's be practical, let's work with as many people as we can.
Actually, maganda yung point mo in one of your posts, eh, no? That's why we have Marcos and Duterte for the last almost two consecutive presidential elections because, you know, perhaps medyo naging pragmatic na tayo ng sobra. And at the same time, we also miss the strategic perspective, which is basically yung organizing, you know, talking directly to the people, and then we just want all of a sudden want a performative populist who appear to us, and then all of a sudden people rally around this. So ngayon may lumalabas nga ngayon yung like the type of center cheese, no, na sabi niya, I'm set I'm, I don't like Sarah, but I don't also hate her as well, no. So parang yan yung term diyan ng mga dun sa performative centrist syndrome, no, parang si Bill Maher ba yon, no, parang he tried to speak he's very objective, but at the same time it cost him a lot, that because of so-called objectivity, like for example of even defending Trump right now in expense of what? Truth and social justice. No, but he tried to intellectualize this discussion. Parang ganun ginagawa nila. For example, ito, ni Keith, ni Senate President Keith Escudero, di ba? Sabihin niya na, ayaw ko naman na matactical ito, baka mas ano po siya. Pero on the other hand, even the word itself na forthwith, di ba? Remand, no? These are really very clear from the very beginning, but you try to intellectualize to justify of your blindness against accountability. And that's really my concern, no? So yan yung sinasabi natin na sobrang pragmatic na natin. We're very much into looking at the day-to-day perspective, and then of course try to uh, rob, I'm just use the word rob, ninanakaw na nito yung malakihang and long-term view of building a strong and dynamic people's participation, that can deliver enough votes of election. So yan yung mga issue ko dyan, no, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, my point is, so kailan tayo magsimula? Diba? If we're still always trying to just swim and survive and just get things done, when are we gonna start? And just to be clear, I also mentioned, di ba, sabi ko, yun yung strength ng DDS side eh. They may have
Ah,
horrible policies, horrible politics. They may even have some internal intrigues and rivalries, House of Honeylet versus House of... Yeah, but at the end of the day, they work together as one team.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I know that as an experience, you go after one of them, they all go after you. But
And
if
they're very clear, yung kanilang, there's a harmony of interest
there's
sa
harmony,
DDS.
yeah,
Clear yun sa kanila, di ba?
yeah, you can make fun of them as kulto sila, whatever sila, as if naman walang fanaticism on the other side too. But my point is, at least solid sila. So you cannot beat them if you just try to
Yeah.
play the game. Ano, what is next? Sabihin natin, practical lang tayo kasi mananalo rin naman mga Duterte, mag-unity team na tayo sa 2028. I mean, it's a slippery slope eh. Yung
Yeah.
ganitong, let's just be practical, hindi naman makakayan yan, you just have to, yeah, yeah, you can deal naman with the food crisis issue. You can deal with education crisis while also dealing with rule of law, party building. No country becomes, safe. No country moves up the
Not a
ladder.
zero-sum game, di ba? Hindi dapat zero-sum game yan. Yeah.
I really don't understand. Like, I still want to hear the argument. Why on earth is being part of the majority the only way for them to be able to serve their constituencies? Is this
Uh,
really the only
yeah.
way? Unless they give me a good answer on that, I'm sorry. I'm going to be quite skeptical. I'm going to be quite skeptical. In light of every other background information we discussed, anong ginawa nila nung elections? Did they say anything on ICC, on SARA? Sige, elections you have to win. O ngayon naman, argument nila, 2028, they have to win. You think in 2028, that group that endorsed Bam will endorse Bam as president against Sara? No way. They will
Yeah.
endorse Sara. They will endorse DDS. You think everyone who voted for you from DDS side in these elections dahil lang ayaw nila, oh, Aquino to, Sara. They're not gonna vote for you. They have their own thing. Kaya sabi ko, when you're up against a consolidated, really, well, may kilusan talaga. It's a movement. DDS is a movement. We can make fun of them. We can say they're culto. You can say pachista sila. Go ahead.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a movement. So how are you?
And Kurt, yeah, if I may interject, na, if I remembered correctly, di ba, noong 2019, when Bam Aquino ran, no, in the Ocho Derecho, what is his advocacy? Education pa rin naman eh. Di ba? But he lost. So what was the condition then? Right? Why Bam Aquino lost during that time? Right? So I don't know the entirety, but for referencing it from 2018 to 2020, 2025, for example, no, these two midterm elections, aside from the Duterte factor, no, there's a promise of hope. Tingin ko yun na meron eh. May promise of hope for people will vote for you as a building blocks for 2028. No, those were rejecting the experience from Marcos and Duterte. Parang people are looking, teka, baka 2025 maging building blocks to for 2028 new set of, candidates that will lead us or will serve as a third force, etc. No? Uh, for the people. So yung promise of hope eh. Pero ngayon, parang yung promise of hope na yan, it remain to become promise pa din. So, hopelessness ang nangyayari at this point. So, dapat i-factor in din natin yung ganong comparative experience that both of them run, no, with the platform of their, free education. Si Senator Kiko, ganun. Well, Senator Kiko did not run in 2029, but Bam clearly, lost. Ang baba, pakailan pa siya nun? 17 ata or something like that. So, malayo siya eh.
14 naman siya or 13. No, no, I think Bam did pretty okay naman in 2019 given the circumstances. Ako naman, I think the better argument here is what Kiko said. Sorry, what Ronald said, which is Kiko was number five and he didn't have to court certain group to endorse them. Number five pa rin siya. So sometimes maybe
Mhm.
the pragmatic argument is overplayed. Like, do you even need to basically play
Yeah, yeah.
the Duterte questions to be number five,
So this,
number two?
yeah.
They'll still be number five or number four or two. So, minsan, I have questions also about do you really need to be with cheese to get to serve your people? I mean, on it, come on. I'm not hearing very convincing argument. All I'm hearing is that OA kayo, and basically gaslighting. Basically gaslighting. And this kind of arrogant response na, I'm sure deep inside they'll say, oh, bakit? O di kayo na lang tumakbo. I mean, uh, my point is, I'm sure if kami tumakbo, tas kayong analyst, gagawin nyo rin sa amin yan, which is exactly what we have to do, right? And last time I checked, right, 2016, 2022, the two major races, we didn't see the most encouraging outcome. But anyway,
Pero, di ba, mas open tayo for criticism in a sense. I mean, all of us. I mean, if we proclaim ourselves that we are not them, like them, if these candidates that we supported will said to us na hindi kami katulad nila. So, ibig sabihin, dapat open tayo for criticism, open tayo for, correcting some of our mistakes and, understanding better and debating what is best for us. So hindi lang matali tayo sa pragmatism. So yun yung problema natin. Pag naging pragmatic na lagi ang pagtingin natin, it will lessen our strategic perspective. So yun lang, katulad binigay ko kanina, our pragmatic actions, no? In fact, for our position or our maneuvering, no, definitely ay dapat may building block ito, no? Part to ng building block, hindi to separate So, for a longer vision. So, yun ang mga nawala kasi. Kaya yun ang hinahanap ko lang naman.
We had a discussion with Dino kahapon. Dino said, no, actually, I agree for them to join majority. And we had a healthy discussion and healthy. I mean, we just have to learn to agree to disagree, right? Now, I know sometimes, yes, people may have said things. Well, basically, you can say someone did a trapo move without being a trapo, right? As I said, everyone makes a mistake. So, wag yun masyadong sensitive siguro. But anyway, Dean, before we dig more of our grave as far as our friends is concerned, baka baka hindi ka rin maimbita katulad ni Sir Ronald sa mga kung ano-anong event tapos magsisisihan kami dahil sa sinasabi namin. Let's talk about BBM naman. We have a president, just for people to remember, we still have the president BBM who's gonna be there for another 3 years. So he doesn't have to worry about re-election anymore, right? Tapos ng lahat ng elections, this is it. He has the runway to him. What are you expecting in the SONA, Dean? Saan Timo, what have been the good and the bad and potentially ugly things that he has to fix getting into his legacy years?
Well, going back to the last sauna, of course, there are a lot of, surprises as well, no? Like especially the Pogo and some developments, no, in terms of infrastructure and our position, for example, of higher education, no, getting this internalization award, etc. So may mga positive ka. But on the other hand, now we're being exposed that we really have a crisis on education. No, for example, in one of the interviews of Secretary Angara, he said that, our backlogs of our classroom backlog about 55,000. No, it requires us for more than 50 years before we finish all this back. So would you imagine that, no? So while the population is exponentially rising, right? No, hindi man bumababa ang population rate natin, tumataas talaga tayo eh. And then we still have this education crisis, and one of its highlights is the classroom backlog. So harapin mo talaga yan. Tapos syempre andyan yung PISA report. I don't know what was the intervention of the government, no? In terms of really addressing the basic needs of our students, no? Yan yung mga yung mga fundamental crisis eh, no? And whether we like it or not, bakit talaga yung issue ng peace and order ngayon? Hindi natin pwedeng i-deny yan, no? Although sabihin ng PNP, no, the data itself ay mas mababa naman itong mga crime rate, but in terms of communicating to the public, in terms of what public is seeing right now, parang hindi favorable sa sinasabi dun sa datos ng PNP. And of course, it boils down to the command responsibility. Di ba pwede mag-isisi sa mga pulis lang yan eh. So sa presidente. So yan yung mga problema din. Tapos ang daming mga enacted bills, for example, na kung titignan mo yung mga bills nito, enacted, ay hindi naman siya directly proportional dun sa uh, gustong mangyari ng mga tao. Kasi, di ba, sa survey, for example, yung mga ulat ng bayan or yung ganyang mga bagay, ang top priority pa ng mga tao ay controlling the inflation, wage increase, access for employment, tapos education and so on. Pero kung titignan mo yung mga naipass na bill, no, asan dyan yung addressing the inflation, asan dyan yung increasing the wage of the workers. So, may disconnect pa rin. Kaya yun yung mga problema natin dito sa administrasyon ito. So, how they going to sustain that? And how are they going to really address, no? Clear na, di ba, may policy demands ang mga tao. Pero parang out of the blue, ang laki ng may disconnect na ginagawa ka, no? Doon sa mga gusto mo mangyari sa totoong buhay rather than sa mga gustong mangyari ng mga tao mo. So I mean, that's really a problem of this administration. No? And in the next 3 years, sabi ko nga, if they will not play very well, walang mangyayari sa mga susunod nilang mga plano. No? Especially if we will not get the support of the people.
Well, getting the support of people, mukhang hopeless case na yung DDS base, right? Sunog na siya dun
Yeah.
eh. But is there a way for him to win over some of his critics from the progressive or yellow side or pink side? Kasi yung the non-partisan gets mo, it's more about gut issues, basic policy competence, right? I think pag medyo umayos-ayos yung traffic, inflation, you may win over the non-political affiliated people. Pero dun sa mga sabihin natin more progressive liberal section of society, is there a way he can win over at least a significant amount of them to push up his numbers to more like majority approval at least?
Ako, ang fundamental na dapat gawin kasi ni President BBM, ano pa talaga yung presidency niya? I don't know, until today, hindi ko maintindihan kung ano ba siya, reformer? Siya ba ay problem solver? O ano ba ang key message ng administration
Technocratic
dito?
eh. Parang ganun eh. Parang
Diba?
may technocratic ang gusto niya ilabas, diba?
Yeah, I mean, he has, you know, I saw some of his interviews in the international community, in the, you know, in even in the Muslim community. He's very good. Di ba? Magaling siya mag-communicate. Pero ang problema mo, parang sa two-level games, your audience is not only international. Primarily, it's the domestic. And you have to put premium on your domestic audience. So if you don't have a clear message or domestic audience, meron kang clear internationally, so mabibitin ka dun sa two-level games approach, no, of intergovernmentalism, no, na na sinasabi natin, no, sa IR theory. So may problema yan. So yun nga ang isip ko kay BBM talaga. Alam mo talaga. So at least yung kay Pinoy, alam mo, yung kanyang clear anti-corruption, kay President Duterte, yung kanyang issue ng no, war on drugs. No, very ano nga, wala siyang pakialam halimbawa dun sa mga issue, basta ano lang niya, single-minded lang yung kanyang issue sa war no. Pero si BBM, if we will ask him, and what people will remember, no, for the last 3 years of his administration, hindi natin ma-identify. So yun yung mga challenges.
To be fair, siguro the problem kasi here is unang-una he couldn't be a Marcos Senior, right? Because that was all the fear. So he always had to make sure hindi siya come off as authoritarian. So that was always a limitation. Second, he had the Duterte's breathing down his neck all the
Mhm.
time. So that
Yeah.
also had so marami siyang structural
Kami ng secretary or head ng communication, no, na napalitan para panglima na ata, no, si Dave Gomez, no, if I'm not mistaken.
right.
So it's really difficult to navigate with all yung sabi mo nga yung context na meron kang uh, background from against the torch of Duterte, and you have the legacy of your late father, no, the Marcos Senior legacy. So, ang hirap din talaga mag-navigate at that time. Pero siguro kung from the very beginning, his message, his communication plan was clearly defined. So baka hindi mahirapan si BBM gawin yan. Kaya lang ngayon, somehow, parang back to scratch ka na naman. No? So,
I mean, we're not making excuses. He has to still step up. His numbers are not amazing, to put it mildly. Kalaban niya na. Almost existential na yung challenge sa kanya from the Dutertes. There's still a lot of skeptics from our friends in the academy, in the civil society. There's the issue of ill-gotten wealth, the Marcos
taxes,
dictatorship.
may yung taxes. Hindi pa rin,
Yeah,
hindi pa.
exactly. Marami siyang challenges, 'di ba? So he really has to step up. He has no choice but to step up, right? There's no way but to step up. So what I'm trying to understand, Dean, is what is realistically ano bang pinaka high impact na pwede niyang gawin na feasible in the next 2 3 years? I mean, we're not expecting him to be Abraham Lincoln, right, or Roosevelt in the next 2 3 years, for the lack of better term. But realistically, what do you think are the low hanging fruit and at the same time mga reasonably high impact policies that na kaya naman ng kanyang political will and sana yung sense of urgency niya, di ba, heading into 2028? Kasi if Duterte's come back, yari din siya, di ba?
Ako, number one dyan, low-hanging fruit, totoo lang. To get the support of the majority of the people. Yung wage increase. I mean, medyo natatakot kasi halimbawa, meron kasing sinasabi sa wage increase na baka magsarado yung mga MSME, medium scale and medium enterprise, di ba? Ah, pero pag binasa mo yung proposed, yung bill, for example, na pinas ng House, clearly nakalagay doon exempted ang mga MSME that parang may workers sila na below 25 ata. So for example, kung ang negosyo mo ay laundry service, that you only employed 4 people, accepted ka para magbigay ng 200 pesos wage increase every day. Or yung mga water refill tank, di ba? Hindi naman ganun kalaki yan eh, not unless you belong to a huge company. So, yan yung mga tingin ko na malaking bagay kung ma-address niya, no? So yung mga realistic target, no? And syempre ako, you have to be top again right now in the issue ng ano, no? Ng tingin ko yung peace and order. Ah, Importante rin talaga yan. Makita talaga na we're tough guy here. But at the same time, what makes him different from the past administration, very clear ang implementation, for example, ng peace and order policy. No, there's a muscle on it, but respecting again yung human rights component. No, so these are clearly very significant. Na nakikita ko, this is only my view. I don't know what the views of other uh, observers like me, no, or students of politics and public administration. But I mean, these are the clamor of the people right now. Economics, kasi yun ang sabi, inflation, di ba? Controlling the inflation, wage increase, tapos yung peace and order. So, they should have a very good communication plan nga, kasi sabi natin. So, sana makita rin ng mga tao din
Strategy
talaga.
comes din yan eh. Yeah.
Yeah. But of course, syempre, kita rin naman natin na yung truthfulness in administration to, dapat wala rin double standard. Di ba? So yung mga
Right.
skeleton in the closets nila ng mga issues, harapin din talaga nila yan. No? Level accountability. No? Yung budget, for example,
Yeah.
what else? No? Other controversies na kinakaharap ng pamilya, harapin nila yan squarely. No? So, yan din dapat ang pag-usapan, pagtuunan ng pansin, no? Tingin ko yan, yung mga immediate and perhaps yung mga big, hairy, audacious goals, for example, no? Ng administrasyong ito, no? Kung they are serious of getting the support of the public.
Yeah, I agree with you din on that. I mean, it's not like kulang siya ng talent, diba? If you look at it, there's General Torre there, who's a natural star, who's already considered as at the very least a senatorial candidate down the road, if not higher. So he's making waves, no? So and he's a good communicator, diba? Magaling siya, diba? Patolera din niya. Sige lang, bardagulan, go ahead, diba? And still respectable, still a man in uniform that you would respect and all of that. So he has a couple of aces up his sleeves, no? BBM. I mean, who knows? Maybe Trillanes might even join his cabinet after the 1 year ban lapses. Who knows, as National Security Advisor or DILG or DND, who knows? So it's not like kulang siya ng mga tao sa kabinetan niya who could really step up. And then next year, obviously, we're going to be ASEAN chair. We're going to be at the center of the world again. Who knows? Maybe Donald Trump and Xi Jinping, the rest come here. So I think there's a lot of chance for the administration to make a splash, right?
Yeah, yeah.
National branding. I think Michelin star restaurants rankings are going to come soon for the Philippines. Maybe some announcements.
Hindi lang
Season,
Gordon
magaling
Ramsay and
yeah.
plus others, no? So dapat marami din talagang mga significant milestones. Ako nga, I believe medyo in terms of international activities of President BBM, medyo okay na siya eh.
No, okay na siya. Kota na, kota na. Iba rin nga, yung problema niya, hindi niya matatranslate sa domestic eh. So, kung i-translate niya sa domestic, I mean, the way they look at him abroad, this is
Yeah.
a reformer, a technocrat, blah, 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 which
Yeah.
sometimes I think is medyo OA naman. But if you can translate that at home, kasi at home, attack sa kanya, bangag, mahina, ganyan, ganyan. So, I think there's a huge disconnect. If we can bring that to a kind of a reasonable middle, whereby yeah, that's why I think Vince Dizon coming in also could be very helpful, di ba? Kasi magaling si Vince Dizon in highlighting yung mga movements, let's just say in the right direction. So, actually I'm hoping to interview him also Vince Dizon to see what the hell is happening with infrastructure projects. A suggestion ko doon na kami mag-meet sa subway doon sa ginagawa ng mga Japanese one
Para
site.
mas makita talaga nila, no? For ano.
Actually, things are moving literally below us, below our feet, di ba? So, pero yun nga, yun yung strength ng mga Dutertes, di ba? Ang galing nila mag-exaggerate, performative, budol, disinformation. Ironically, medyo mahina talagang comms ni BBM. And I think him having what? His fifth PCO guy in how many years na? Average of one PCO secretary every 7, 8 months. That tells you that they're still struggling with their
I
communication
see. Yeah.
strategy. But it's not the end of the world, right?
Mm.
Last point, Dean. In the SONA itself, what do you want to see from the president? I think we roughly have an idea of what he's gonna do and say. But what do you want to see? Anong wish list mo doon? Na sa
Well,
tingin, tugmang-tugma sa
number, yeah.
kailangan nating bayan. Opo.
Well, ako primarily gusto ko sabihin sa kanila na in my next 3 years, this is not a year of being a lame duck, but this is a more dynamic year for all of us. So now I'm in control. of this administration. Gusto ko yung mga ganong rhetorics for lack of better term. Sabihin nyo, I'm in control right now, no? Of our peace and order, of our economic development. I'm the captain of the ship. I will make sure that everyone will follow my command. Something like that, no? So, ganito lang. At ito yung mga unang gagawin ko. Papatigil ko yan. Online gambling ba yan? Number one, yung mga decades natin. Haharapin natin yung kriminalidad ng ating bansa. Bibigyan natin ng pagkakataon na pataasin. For example, itong kabuhayan ng mga mamamayang Pilipino by offering not only wage increase but rather more access. No? And of course, yung pagbaba ng mga presyo ng bilihin. Kasi definitely, if you will compare, for example, our prices to Cambodia, ang layo talaga eh. Di ba? I mean, yun ang problema kahit kung we
Even
compare our
Europe nga, mas
salary.
mahal sa atin guys sa Poland and Eastern Europe or
Precisely. So,
Spain.
yun talaga yung diferensya. So, ganun yung ano, tingin ko yun ang ine-expect ko sana, no, kay kay PBBM, no, sa kanyang SONA. He will declare that I'm in command. I'm the commander in chief. So everyone will follow. So hindi ito sign of weakening that the direction is abandoning ship na. Hindi. We're steering the wheel to more, progressive engagement or something like that. But then again, syempre, fence sitter lang naman tayo. Hindi naman tayo nasa Malacanang, and ang role pa rin talaga natin ay bantayan din natin. How, for example, they're offering, I think, the biggest budget in history is 2026. No? Sana nasa gitna pa lang tayo ng taon. Ano na yung expenses dapat? Kailangan makita natin yan. Nadi-deliver ba yan talaga ng ating gobyerno in the next 6 months? What are their key targets? What will be their milestones in the next 6 months? Sana sabihin din nyo ni PBBM sa kanyang SONA. No? Para at least ready rin tayo. At ano yung dapat i-calibrate for next year? So, yan siguro yung mga bagay na, yung mga wish list din natin na gusto nating marinig sa kanya.
Yeah, and I agree. And on my point, I hope he'll say something about the ICC detention or us
Ayan,
region.
talaga yan. Sama rin
I
yan.
know he
No?
tried to avoid it maybe because I don't know, but he has to say something. I mean, this is one of the biggest political events, earthquakes in the country. So I don't think he can just pretend it's not there. But let's see. Baka I know his instinct is just to be constructive and technocratic, but he's also a politician. He's not just a technocrat,
Also,
right?
his position impeachment, talaga hindi ko maintindihan. Sabihin niya,
Yeah, medyo
I choose not really to participate. Ito ko eh. So, pero I don't know if President Marcos really uh, prepared to the consequences of his decisions after his term, no?
right.
So, hindi to ano eh, hindi naman ito bati-bati na tayo after 3 years eh. I'm
Yeah.
sure dito mga to. Oh, pinakulong yung tatay eh. So, ganyan iniisip nila yung mga yan eh. Kaya sabihin nila, it's our compliance to Interpol. Simple sila mag-isip eh. You're
Yeah.
the key instrument of why President Duterte right now is in The Hague. Tapos,
The idea na, oh, traitor ka kasi we were in a team. So, expectation na you protect Tatay Digong, di ba? At the very least, yun ang ganun yung linya nila. So,
yeah,
mapagiganti talaga mga Duterte. So, it's gonna be an existential issue. So, he has no choice but to step up. It's just how he's gonna do it, how fast he's gonna do it. That's important. On the impeachment, I think Rafi Tulfo put it best, right? Uh, Sana, magkaroon ng pagkakataon si Sarah to prove her innocence. Para tapos na tayo. We can move on from there. Wag na tayo magmambo jump around it. And in that way, he could be fair. He just say, this is the constitutional duty and let's do it. After all, si Sandro naman yung nag-sign dun sa impeachment. But he's not gonna endorse the impeachment per se. He's just gonna endorse the constitutional process. Otherwise, I don't see him why he should say he's against impeachment.
yeah, that's why he just being
Pretending he's a
faithful to the
puppet slave. It
Constitution. You
doesn't
just
work
say
that
that,
way.
the
Exactly.
impeachment is running. So, I mean, you have to just be consistent and faithful to that there's a constitutional provision. So we just need to expect, and whatever the result, we will respect that. I think that will be a better communication statement rather than saying that, I don't support impeachment. So, parang you're abandoning your duty as a president eh. Di ba? Lahat yun eh. So, pag ganun ang statement natin, kasi you are not supporting the impeachment, but at least the minimum, you have to respect and follow what the Constitution said.
On that note, thank you very much, Dean. Pasensya na for some technical difficulties po lang hinahack yata tayo. Marami nagagalit dun sa pinagsasabi natin kanina. Don't worry, it's just entirely on me. It's not your fault, and you did a fantastic job. Such good English, such good English. Thank you very much, Dean.
Thank you, and looking forward to see you again.
And looking forward to having you in person and seeing you again and catching up with you as we head towards the SONA and with the post SONA analysis and also a lot of things down the road. And looking forward also, Dean, for us na balik tayo dun sa ating ating civic education program
Yeah.
activities
I think
on.
we have to continue that. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's we're really committed. What come hell or high water, right?
God
So
willing. God willing. Inshallah. Let's do it. Salamat. Talk to you
thank
soon.
you.
God bless. Good night.